13 Action News. Good morning, Las Vegas.
A day America will never forget. This morning, we're honoring the nearly 3,000 people killed during the 9/11 attacks 19 years ago today. This morning, we have team coverage of all of the local remembrance ceremonies happening here in the Valley. Nina Porciuncula is live at Allegiant Stadium, where a flag ceremony is set to take place. And Sean Delancey is live at Fire Station 5 for a bell ringing ceremony. We'll have the reports coming up in just a few minutes. Plus, flames continuing to spread across several western states as the firefight grows more intense. The devastating discovery made in Sacramento overnight. And a racy book pulled from a local class's suggested reading list. This morning, why some feel that wasn't the right move. Good morning, Las Vegas. Thank you so much for joining us live on TV, KTMV.com, or wherever you're streaming us. I'm Kalina Estrinos. Dave Corvasier has a day off, but Justin Bruce is here to keep you up to date with your forecast. So 68 degrees, still feeling pretty nice this morning.
Yeah, can't complain about waking up to the 60s. Many folks would say, well, it is September after all, but typically we'd still be waking up to the 70s this month. So anytime you can have a morning in the 60s in September, that is a cooler than average weather pattern. You can see the numbers at 68 at McCarran, 59 in Boulder City. We are 61 in West Henderson and 67 from Summerlin up to Centennial Hills. We'll all move through the 70s between 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock this morning, and then move through the 80s during the lunch hour on our way to an afternoon high around 93 degrees here in the city. Could hit 95 up in North Las Vegas, 94 the call in Pahrump. It is going to heat up to the triple digits as we head toward the weekend. We'll time out that warm up in just a moment, but we need to talk to Marissa because we have big problems out there on the roads.
Yeah, Justin, we are continuing to update you on that deadly crash over on the 95 in Henderson. I'm actually on the freeway right now because the entire freeway is shut down this morning. That's in the northbound direction. Take a look at the scene. You can see one of those vehicles completely flipped over here. We are hearing from NHP. Somebody was driving on the wrong side of the freeway this morning. Lots of investigators still here on scene. Now, if you travel through Henderson, the 95 northbound will be closed this morning as law enforcement continues their investigation. So how you can get around this, Highway Patrol is having everybody get off the freeway at Russell. You can take Mountain Vista northbound, hop back on the freeway at Tropicana. You can also take Boulder Highway.
All right, Marissa, thank you so much. 5:32 now. On this day, 19 years ago, thousands of people got up and prepared to head to work and travel. But sadly, many of them didn't live past 10:03 a.m. On September 11, 2001, terrorists hijacked 4 planes. 2 of them crashed into the North and South World Trade Center towers in New York, causing them to collapse. Another plane crashed into the Pentagon, while a 4th one went down in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, after passengers struggled with hijackers. Today is now known as Patriot Day to honor the thousands who died. And here in the Valley, there are several events honoring the victims. We have Chopper 13 overhead right now over Allegiant Stadium. That's where we find 13 Action News anchor Nina Porciuncula joining us live right now with more on the special ceremony planned there. Nina?
Kalina, we're exactly an hour away from that ceremony happening where first responders will honor the lives lost and the heroes of 9/11 through that flag raising ceremony. You can see we have some crews out here getting the stage ready for that ceremony. We are also seeing more people trickle in who are participating this morning. And we also know that the Raiders will be joining us out here this morning. We have the representatives from 16 Southern Nevada emergency response agencies as well, and a local support organization. Now, we expect to hear from Clark County Commissioner Michael Naft and Las Vegas Raiders President Mark Bedane, who will then introduce the singer of the national anthem. Commissioner Naft organized this event at Allegiant Stadium, actually under his district. Commissioner Naft says as we honor those who lost their lives during the attacks, the message of hope and resilience are more important than ever. He also says this ceremony is not just honoring the heroes of 9/11, but also the everyday heroes in our community.
It's going to be an important opportunity for us to both pay tribute to the legacy of those who lost, of the men and women who ran into the buildings while those in the private sector were running out to safety. But also we want to pay that special tribute to those who do that job every single day without thinking twice about it. Here in Clark County, we have dozens of law enforcement agencies, fire departments, first responders. We saw after the horrible attacks on October 1 right here in our own community community, the tragedy can befall anywhere. So making sure that we don't just neglect to pay tribute to those who do that job every day, that we make sure we're thinking of the nearly 2 decades that have gone by.
Everyone attending the event is required to wear masks and also social distance. It starts at 6:30 this morning, about an hour away from now. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the limitations to large gatherings, you are encouraged to watch the ceremony from home. And we will stream it live for you on the air and online at ktnv.com at 6:30. But for now, reporting live, Nina Bershukla, 13 Action News.
Nina, thank you so much. It's so hard to really think about 19 years ago today, nearly 3,000 people lost their lives. And it's so nice to know, even though we're in the middle of this pandemic, we're still finding ways to honor the lives lost and also the families who lost their loved ones. Thank you so much. We'll check in with you again in just a little bit. We do have a live look right now at the Strat, where local firefighters and UNLV's football coaching staff will honor victims of the 9/11 attacks. Later this morning, they'll climb nearly 1,500 steps to the top of the 108-story tower. The tradition is meant to simulate the distance first responders had to travel inside the World Trade Center, again 19 years ago today. This is the first time UNLV's coaching staff is able to participate, and they'll start that climb at 9 a.m. In a closed ceremony, Las Vegas Fire and Rescue will continue their tolling of the bells at Fire Station 5 for everyone lost this day 19 years ago. A retired New York firefighter who responded to the tower's collapse will also be at the ceremony to sing the national anthem. 13 Action News reporter Sean Delancey is live at the fire station with a look ahead at this long-running tradition. Sean?
Yeah, Kalina, every year this is a very intimate ceremony rooted in history that goes back well before the tragic events of 9/11. Singing the national anthem today is retired New York firefighter Frank Pizarro. He was off duty that day, but saw the attack on television and knew that he had to go in and help. The South Tower fell before he got to the scene, and the second tower collapsed as he was trying to help save lives. Pizarro was saved that day only by retreating to a nearby parking garage. Last year, we spoke with Pizarro, and he says that the events of 9/11 were something that will never leave him, despite moving thousands of miles from his home in New York to live here in Las Vegas.
I remember the feeling of how surreal things were. It looked like a war zone, and it's not something I'm going to really forget anytime soon.
Yeah, this ceremony will begin at 6:50 this morning, roughly the same time as the collapse of the South Tower. Fire crews will toll a bell, a practice that historically represents the passing of a firefighter reaching back well before the use of radios. And then they will raise a special flag over a twisted piece of metal taken from the tower's wreckage. Because of the coronavirus, the public will not be allowed to attend, but we will be following this ceremony live right here on air and over on our website, ktnv.com, or any of the other streaming platforms that you use to watch us. Sean Delancey, 13 Action News.
Sean, it's hard to believe nearly 3,000 lives lost 19 years ago today. That was a day that ripped families apart, but also a day that brought the country together. And it's nice to know that we are doing our part here in Clark County and across the U.S. today to really remember and honor the people that were lost this day. Thank you so much, Sean. We'll check in with you again in just a little bit. Right now, the time 5:38. President Trump and Joe Biden will both travel to Pennsylvania today. They'll be in Shanksville, the site of the Flight 93 National Memorial. This is video from the aftermath. The hijacked plane crashed into a field after the passengers fought back against the hijackers. All 40 passengers and crew aboard died. Both President Trump and Joe Biden are expected to be at the memorial at different times. Joe Biden will also attend the National September 11th Memorial and Museums commemoration ceremony in New York. And for a list of local events happening right here in the Valley to remember the victims, just visit our website, ktnv.com. A devastating discovery in California as wildfires continue to burn throughout the state. Overnight, 7 people were found dead near Sacramento. At least 10 people have now been killed in the so-called North Complex fire. Right now, more than a dozen people are still missing. One woman fears her parents are among the dead after the couple's house was burned to the ground.
Oh my gosh. This is so heart-wrenching. Waiting for the remains to be identified that they found in the same location, and I pray to God that it's not my parents.
More than 2,000 homes have been destroyed in the North Complex fire. Meanwhile, in Washington state, residents were left stunned by the aftermath of a massive fire that destroyed the town of Malden. And in Oregon, nearly 50 wildfires are burning throughout the state. So far, at least 3 people have died there. Well, good morning, Las Vegas. We have a lot more coming up, including a moment of silence for the nearly 3,000 lives lost 19 years ago today. We have full coverage of all the remembrance events happening around the county for 9/11.
Our weather forecast is warming up. 93 today, 98 tomorrow. Then we're back in the triple digits on Sunday. We'll see how many more triple digit days we've got for you in the 7-day planner.